Welcome back into our signing day coverage on buffstampede.com. We're going to talk about our most underrated picks in this 2024 class for Colorado Chase. But unlike a lot of years, this is kind of a difficult exercise. There are not a lot of low rated guys in this class. It's pretty highly regarded nationally.
Yeah, I had to ask you what actually classifies as underrated because compared to a lot of recruiting classes that we've talked about in years past, there aren't really any underrated guys in this entire class. So I had to ask you, and I think the guy I'm taking would have probably been one of the highest rated guys in previous classes. So that just goes to show how good recruiting Coach Prime's doing and his staff.
We'll let everybody know who's your pick.
Yeah, so this is a guy that is, I believe, rated 89 on 24/7 Sports. So he's right there on the verge of being a four-star. I'm going to go with Eric Brantley. The numbers that he put up for his senior year of Valdosta are just incredible for a defensive lineman. He played 9 games, 12 sacks, 98 tackles, and 34 tackles for loss. Adam, just
Yeah.
incredible numbers. Obviously, one of the best players in all of football in the state of Georgia. Played very high caliber competition in Georgia as well. We'll see kind of where he ends up fitting on the defensive line. He's not the biggest body, I would say, but he's a guy that's going to be able to wreak havoc really no matter what.
Yeah, he's a guy that maybe his lack of length is keeping him from being one of the, top 10, 15 defensive players ranked in the country because he was that productive in high school. And I really like that pick, but it really does put things in perspective of how much better Colorado recruiting has gotten under Coach Prime. That's an underrated pick here. I'm going to go with, as we record this, the lowest ranked high school guy in their class, and that's running back Michael Welch from Georgia. I think back to the Arizona game, and they had a couple bowling ball type backs that were just causing issues for CU defensively in a game where they really felt like they should have won, but they had a hard time bringing down those Arizona backs, and that's kind of what Michael Welch looks like on tape to me. He's a guy that's can carry the load. He's a guy that can wear down defenses and will get better as the game goes along. But he is a guy you're going to have to feed to get in the rhythm. So it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of works into things as he gets on campus. But, you know, they like Alton McCaskill the fourth and his future. Michael Walsh has got a chance to come in with Hinkerson in the portal and having a chance to get into that rotation early on, I feel like. What about from the transfer ranks? Who you got?
This one's also tough because a lot of them are high caliber type of guys. I think you could even probably take someone that's rated as a 4-star transfer right now as kind of underrated because there's been so many over the last 2 weeks that it's hard to keep track of all of them. But I think I'm going to start mostly because I want to talk about this guy, but I'm going to go with Keaton Wade, one of the twins coming from Kentucky. He's a 6'5", listed at 250-pound outside linebacker, edge rusher. When you turn on the film and watch a lot of Kentucky games, he's not your typical edge rusher. He's not on the line of scrimmage every down. He's playing a lot of different coverages. I really like his athleticism, and we're going to see where he ends up playing because I've talked to a few people at CU, and it sounds like he could be more of a linebacker edge rusher hybrid, and they might want him a little bit more inside. And when you're talking about a guy that's around 6'5", 250 playing as an inside linebacker, especially on rushing downs and on the goal line, it's a guy that might be able to stuff the run a little bit, which is something that they struggled with a lot last year. And I just like a kid that has had a lot of production already at the SEC level, 36 tackles this past year. I think he had something around 15 tackles his freshman year at Kentucky. So 2 years at Kentucky, he already has played a lot of football as a backup, and I think he can come in here and contribute right away.